What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am in the process of renovating my garage right now. This is me just kind of going through, sweeping out the areas of the garage where I'm about to spray some foam. I sprayed foam in most of the areas where I couldn't put up normal insulation, and I went around the windows with like a special window and door spray foam. So I kind of talked about that a little bit in my last video. Kind of just going through and spraying it all down. I'm in the middle of a big project to renovate the entire thing. So first step of it was doing all the insulation and getting some OSB up on the ceilings. I kind of cleared out the ceilings later in the project. I don't know if it's going to be in one of these videos, but went through and cleared out the attic space right there. I built an attic door and then I put 2 lights up there so it's lit up there and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I just kind of went through and sealed all that off. Right now I'm kind of going through and sealing up the window. I don't ever plan on opening these windows. They're super old and they let in a ton of air. So I wanted to make sure I went through those really good to make sure that no wind or air will come in. I think when insulating, doing the prep is probably one of the most important things. Making sure that you're not going to have any air drafts is super important. That way the insulation doesn't have to work as hard to keep all the good air inside. So here I'm hanging up some insulation on the easier parts of this wall over here by the window. We started with the far wall over on the left side of the screen there. The reason for that is because we don't really have to move anything out of the way to get there. It was kind of the easiest place, so we start over there just to make it easier for us in the beginning. This part over by this cabinet kind of sucked. I had to move this cabinet out to get back there, get to the corner. So I did all the insulation behind this cabinet right here, and then I kind of just pushed it back into place. Doing another windows was a little difficult too. It's not as wide as the rest of the walls, I guess. So the studs aren't as far apart under the windows because of how it was built. So I had to kind of cut some pieces into some weird shapes and try to stuff them in there. Still working on this little area over here. The lighting kind of sucked because of where the camera was. Just kind of sweeping under here now to prep this wall to start spraying some foam in the seals, or in the cracks. Kind of seal it up a little bit over there. Yeah, you can see me kind of sealing it up with that spray foam. Right now I'm just cutting foam just to get ready for that wall on the right side. I had to wait for my brother to come over the next day so that we could take the cabinets down and then hang up this side over there. So I'm just kind of pre-cutting pieces so it'd be easier the next day for us. Just finishing up under the windows really quick. above that door over there too. Just kind of get that side all done. So at this point, I would have 2 of the walls done so far. I guess 3 if you count the garage door side, but that was easy. So at this point, I have 3 sides done. All that I have to do now is the ceiling and the right side. Kind of went over here, took these shelves off, and then move some of the stuff out of the way, just to make it easier the next day when we decide to do that side. All right, not sure what I've shown on here so far since the last time I made a little update, but all the sides are done. We got all this done. These windows over here, I just kind of put some foam in there, did all that up, got the sides put on. These little gaps where the foam's not going to fit, or the insulation is not going to fit, I just put some spray foam in there. The outlets, I'm going to go over those with some outlet tape. I want to make sure that those aren't going to catch on fire if there's a spark or something. So all of the walls are done. I moved the cabinets down because we plan on putting some OSB board up on the walls, so I don't want to have to take them off the walls again. So all this is done over here. I did put some weather stripping on the garage doors. The garage doors are already insulated, so I don't really have to worry about that too much. So all that's done. We've started the ceiling so far. These are the insulation pieces for the ceiling. As you can see here, we put 1 piece of OSB up on the ceiling so far. So that's starting to get done there. That piece we kind of didn't really know what to do with it. This one we figured it out though. That one looks much better. Like I said, I'm going to go over all these so they're not going to look as terrible when we're done. I moved the lights vertically. I'm going to add some LED lights on this side. Right here I just put this piece up. So what we've been doing is just putting the 2 rows up at a time and then putting the OSB board up. But my brother's not coming today, he'll be here tomorrow. So I'll probably try to get as much insulation on the ceiling as I can. And then tomorrow he'll be able to help me with the OSB board and putting that up. I found out that it's way easier to cut these big pieces in half to put them up there, so you're not having to carry nearly as much weight. So that's helped quite a bit so far. We've gone through a ton of staples on it. Lots of staples. So yeah, overall it's going pretty well. I'll show you guys up in there a little bit. So here's kind of what it looks like from the top. Not too shabby. We're getting there, making a little bit of progress. We kind of try to leave these little areas open as much as we could, right in the corner, so that air can still pass through, but not come down into the garage itself. Yeah, I mean, it looks way better so far, so I'm getting pretty excited for it. Alright, so that clip you guys just saw, I believe it was 2 days later, my brother came over and we did that, the side with the cabinets on it. We just kind of put the cabinets on the floor afterwards, and then we started on part of the ceiling. The ceiling was way harder than I thought, so by myself right here, I'm pretty much like putting pieces of wood up there just to brace it, and then hang up the insulation. So I kind of just went through, used staples just to get it all up in there. It holds pretty well by itself. One thing I learned with the ceiling is that whoever built this garage kind of sucks at building, because a lot of the joints up there weren't the same width. Like some were 23¼ inches, some were 24½ inches. So it kind of threw us off a little bit, but ended up making it work and getting it done for the most part. Right here, I think I kind of ran off to go grab some stuff. Overall, it's going pretty smooth though. I think that in the grand scheme of things, looking back at it now, it was not as hard as I thought, but it took way longer than I expected. So overall, it's pretty easy, but it's just a long, tedious process. So kind of just putting more bracing up there now. I just did that to kind of hold the insulation up while I stapled. Then I stapled, put some more bracing up, and then after I had the whole thing stapled, I kind of took the bracing down, the little pieces of wood that I used to brace it, so those weren't in the way anymore. Yeah, I'm kind of stapling and taking those down as I go. So I live in the Midwest, right outside of St. Louis. For the walls, we used R11 insulation, and the ceilings R19. So far, it seems like it does pretty well. It's the beginning of the winter right now, and it's been holding up. The lowest it's gotten is like 40 degrees out, and it's regulating the temperature very well. So I'm not very concerned with the lower rating of insulation that I used. My goal was to be effective but budget friendly at the same time. All right, here I started showing the process of cutting the insulation a little bit. So right now I'm prepping for the next day, basically cutting out pieces of insulation that we can use the next day, so it kind of makes it go easier for us because my brother came over the next day, so just kind of pre-cut some of these pieces. This was a couple days later. You can see the cabinets on the ground over here. I'm cutting some more bracing up really quick, just put on the ceiling. Just going through there and putting all the bracing up first. This was the hard part where pretty much none of the joists kind of matched, so I had to keep cutting new pieces for it and putting them up there to make sure it was all good. Throwing some insulation up really quick. Had to go inside and get my iPad so I could watch some hockey. Big hockey fan, so wanted to watch a game while I was doing this. Little Josie girl wanted to hang out with me for a while, so Josie got to come in the garage. While I was working on this, the indoor side of my mini split came in, so I kind of got distracted and a little bit excited with that and started working on that a little bit. Kind of just threw the indoor unit of it inside the wall really quick, and then a couple days later I got the outdoor unit and got that all finished up. So kind of just drilling some holes in the walls. Had to keep going outside so I could drill the wall and then try to run the wires and stuff through by myself. Overall, it was pretty easy to salt this as well. So, I mean, mini splits aren't too tough. It was not hard to do. Did all the wiring and everything myself. It wasn't bad. Looking up some stuff on it really quick, and then I kind of put the side over on the wall just so I have something to mount it to, and then I will put OSB around it when the time comes for that. So at this point I'm just kind of finishing up the last side over here. Kind of pulled these lights down just to make it a little bit easier for me. Alright guys, so for the most part we're pretty well done. Got the ceiling put up, it's all OSB board. There's some gaps that we left, but I mean it's all insulated, so garage is fully insulated now. I got some lights hanging down, so I need to hang up. Got a little door up here. The walls, they're insulated. I think in the springtime I'll probably put some OSB on the walls and stuff like that and get it all completely done. But for now, for the most part, it's done. I do have this HVAC unit in here. Set at 68 degrees right now. It keeps this garage very, very well regulated. My little temperature gauge right there says 69. So just a super cheap one I got from Amazon really quick. Here's the outside unit. Got it all wired up. If you want to learn how to hook one of these bad boys up, I already did mine and didn't take a video. So you probably have to search and find another YouTube video for that. If you have any questions about it, you can ask me though. I'm about to take the motorcycles out to go get some gas. Gotta ride the moped around too. It probably hasn't been ridden, like actually ridden in about a year. So just gonna get some gas through that and then fill all 3 of these things up. And then I'm gonna make a video for you guys of me riding them today. So watch out for that. But I mean, for the most part, the garage is done. Like I said, I still have to do the walls, and then I want to do like an epoxy floor in here, but that would require moving all the stuff back outside of the garage, which would suck. Motorcycle's pretty dirty though. They had to sit on the rain for the first time ever, so they got some like rain marks all over them and stuff like that. So gotta go get some gas today, ride them around, and then I gotta get them all cleaned up and stuff, and then they'll be stored in here for the winter. The Harley's probably gonna get posted for sale finally. I don't want to sell it, but don't really have very much room for it. I probably will ride it too, so it's gonna go for sale soon. I'm gonna miss it a ton, but anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.